Ever walked down a dark city street and felt that, like, knot of worry? Wishing you had some extra set of eyes, you know? That feeling of just wanting to be safer.
Oh, tell me about it.
Well, get this. Today's deep dive. We're looking at whether group meditation could actually make a whole city safer.
Okay, now that sounds like some kind of headline I'd see in like the Weekly World News or something.
Right. But this isn't aliens landing. This is serious research. We're diving into a 1993 study done in Washington, D.C.
DC, huh? So what, were they trying to get Congress to chill out?
Maybe. Who knows? But seriously, they use something called Transcendental Meditation, and these TMCD programs basically brought in thousands of meditators.
Thousands. Okay, now that's a serious meditation circle.
Right. And they didn't just like measure good vibes, they got hardcore with it, tracked actual crime rates.
All right, so how do you make sure it wasn't just a coincidence? Cities go up and down all the time, right?
That's where the deep dive part comes in this study. Super rigorous.
Oh, I love it when they get into the nitty-gritty. Lay it on me.
They had an independent review board, used FBI crime data, controlled for everything weather, pre-existing trends, you name it.
Wow, they really wanted to isolate the impact of the meditation itself. Impressive.
Exactly. This wasn't some hippy-dippy, let's all hold hands thing. They were serious about measuring real change.
Okay, I'm intrigued. The safer city, that's kind of broad, right? What were they actually measuring?
They focused on violent crime, specifically homicide, rape, assault, and robbery.
Heavy stuff. So did having all those meditators actually move the needle on any of that?
Oh, did it ever? Get this. When the meditation group was at its peak, the study reported a drop in those violent crimes, up to 23.3%.
Wait, are you serious? Almost a quarter reduction in violent crime. That's insane.
Insane and good, right. But I know what you're thinking, coincidence? Stuff like that happens, right?
Exactly. Cities are weird. You can't just point at one thing and be like, meditation solved everything.
And they didn't. They calculated the probability of this reduction happening purely by chance, less than 2 in 1 billion.
2 in a billion. All right, now even I'm impressed.
Duh.
There's some vanishingly small odds. Statistically significant for sure. So how'd they explain it?
This is what I love. They tried to debunk their own findings. They looked at everything. Time of year, maybe. Summer means less crime. Nope. They compared 5 years of data, same time period. Smart. So much for seasonal trends. What about policing changes? Maybe there was some big crackdown during the study.
They thought of that too. Looked at staffing levels, new initiatives, nothing lined up.
Huh. So it wasn't just more cops on the street.
And get this, the decrease in crime didn't disappear when the meditators left D.C.
Wait, really? The effect lingered. You're kidding?
Stuck around even after the study was over.
No, that is fascinating.
So it's like the city took a chill pill and just kind of kept it going. Wild.
It really is. And that right there, that lingering effect, that's what got the researchers thinking even bigger. Like, what if territory?
Oh, I love a good what if. Hit me with it.
What if, instead of just a temporary group, there were 4,000 people meditating in D.C. all the time? Non-stop chill wave. Okay, yeah, now you're talking. A constant peace ray on the city. What'd they figure out?
Based on their calculations, they projected a potential decrease in those violent HRA crimes, the really bad stuff.
Homicide, rape, assault, yeah.
Right, those ones. They projected a decrease of up to 48%.
48%? Whoa, hold the phone. That's not just like a little dip in the stats. We're talking a total transformation.
Exactly. Imagine like fundamentally changing how a city feels. Everyone's a little bit calmer, a little more peaceful. Impacts how safe people feel walking down the street, the whole 9 yards.
I mean, even if further research showed it wasn't quite that high, even half of that, a 20% reduction, that's still massive. Game changer for a city.
No doubt. And it really makes you wonder, what's going on beneath the surface here? There's this whole area of research on collective consciousness.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. The idea that we're all like energetically connected, our thoughts influence the world around us, all that.
Yeah. And it's gaining traction. The idea that our individual thoughts, emotions, intentions, they don't just exist in a vacuum. They radiate outwards.
So it's not totally out there to think that a big group of people all meditating, sending out those chill vibes could actually have like a ripple effect, impact the whole city's energy, even stuff like crime rates.
Exactly. And there's some wild research happening in other fields that kind of backs this up too. Have you heard of heart coherence?
I don't think so. Or maybe it was on one of those late-night Wikipedia rabbit holes. Fill me in.
So heart coherence is this thing where basically a bunch of people get their heart rhythms in sync. And some studies have shown that this can actually, get this, measurably affect stuff like the Earth's magnetic field.
Wait, seriously? You're blowing my mind right now. So you're saying that our collective energy, our vibes, whatever you want to call it, it's not just some woo-woo idea. It can actually impact, like, the planet itself.
It's definitely a new frontier, scientifically speaking,
Yeah.
but the evidence is there, and it's pretty compelling. It makes you really stop and think, you know? What
Yeah.
else are we capable of when we start thinking beyond just ourselves?
Right. Forget meditating to relax. Let's meditate to save the world. But okay, before I get too far down that rabbit hole, let's bring it back to the study for a sec. They looked at different types of violent crime, right? What about robbery? Did that fit in with all this?
Ah, good catch. That's actually one of the most interesting things about this whole study. Remember how we talked about them separating robbery from those more like personal violent crimes?
Yeah, they were very specific about that.
Right, so statistically speaking, robbery on its own didn't really budge, didn't show a significant decrease.
Huh, interesting. So the meditation chilled everyone out, except the people looking to make a quick buck.
Well, it's probably not quite that simple. It could be that the reasons people commit robbery a lot of times is driven by economics and stuff. Maybe those are just less susceptible to meditation's influence. Or the study just wasn't designed to pick up on those finer details of robbery trends. More research needed and all that.
Makes sense. So amazing results, totally mind-blowing implications, but still a lot we don't know, which makes me even more curious, like even if we just entertain the possibility that this group meditation thing could actually impact crime, what does that mean for how we think about keeping communities safe? Is it time to start building meditation centers instead of jails?
Right. It definitely challenges us to think outside the box. I mean, we're so used to traditional approaches, right? More police, stricter laws, social programs, all that's important for sure. But what if we've been neglecting this whole other level, this collective consciousness layer?
It's like we've been playing checkers with community safety, and the study is like, hey, what about 3D chess? Wild.
Totally. And you know what's interesting? It kind of fits with this bigger shift, right? Like
Hmm.
we're realizing how interconnected everything is. Not just like, oh, be nice to your neighbor, but on a deeper level.
Yeah, it's like we've been so focused on the individual, meditate to feel better, that kind of thing, but this flips the script.
Right. What if it's not just about personal peace, but like radiating that outward?
Creating outer peace, too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Exactly. And honestly, it's not even that new as an idea. Think about Gandhi, right?
Yeah.
His whole Satyagraha movement. Maybe not just meditation, but that same vibe?
Nonviolent resistance, changing the world by changing your consciousness, all that. Powerful stuff.
Right. And this study, it just makes you wonder, what else can we shift with this collective consciousness thing?
It's almost like we've unlocked a cheat code for social change, but we're still figuring out all the buttons.
Right. Could we, like, meditate our way to less prejudice,
Yeah.
more compassion, heck, even a healthier planet?
Okay, now you're getting me really fired up. We got to try this. But realistically, we need more research, right? Like, prove this isn't just a one-off fluke.
For sure. Always got to be rigorous.
Yeah.
But still, just the possibility, even if it's just a fraction as powerful as they found, that's huge EE.
It really is. Gives you hope, Like, we might be onto something here. So for anyone listening who's like, all right, I'm convinced, sign me up for the citywide meditation circle, where should they even start?
Honestly,
Hmm.
read the study. It's seriously fascinating, even if you're not a science nerd. And hey, maybe try some meditation yourself. See what it's all about.
Right. Can't hurt. Solo, group, whatever feels good.
The important thing is keep asking those big what-if questions.
Yeah.
Don't underestimate what we can do, especially when we work together.
Beautifully said. And on that note, we've reached the end of our deep dive. Huge thanks to our expert for, well, being an expert. This was mind-blowing.
Anytime. These conversations are what it's all about.
And to everyone listening, keep those minds open, keep exploring, and we'll catch you next time for another deep dive.